All right, very cool. Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the Add-on Show and Tell for August 20th, 2020. We're joined today by Sylvain, Rob, Jorge, Stuart, and Andrew. Hi everybody. Thanks for joining. It's good to see everybody. Our agenda today is pretty light, so I'm just going to take a minute to invite everyone who's here to go ahead and add something that they'd like to share. That would be really great.
Yeah, I think we'll present at the next show and tell the polished version of the extension activity monitor. He's currently wrapping up his GSOC project. And yeah, at the next show and tell, he'll present the thing.
Yeah, I was away for the last show and tell last month, and I just read a little bit about this on GitHub this morning. Seems very interesting. I'll look into it.
And speaking of our fearless interns, Lisa's internship wrapped up yesterday. Lisa had been working on the AMO homepage admin to make it easier for our editorial staff to feature extensions on the homepage of addons.mozilla.org. I was wondering if somebody on this call might be able to show some of her work.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Andrew.
I guess it's me, as I was supervised there for the technical aspect anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did mention it to her again, and she said that, well, she didn't seem that her opinion was it wouldn't really look very different than last month. So she was like, I wouldn't really have anything to do. I was like, no, that's fine, you can come anyway. But then she said she wasn't sure if she was available to attend. But, yeah. Internship ended yesterday, so we couldn't exactly say, no, you got to be there, you know.
Yeah, you got to work on your peer pressuring skills, Andrew.
I have to be like, no, you got to be there. Otherwise, you're letting the community down. Otherwise.
Anyway, thank you for volunteering to show it. I'm excited to see what else she worked on.
Sorry?
I'm excited to see what else she worked on.
Yeah, I mean, it won't look super different than what she was showing last time, because she kind of showed the bare bones of it, and then it's a bit more fleshed out. So, okay, so this is just a sentence, right? You're not going to do anything first. I have to wait for.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me stop sharing.
No, I mean, like the first person on the list was Sylvain, so I wasn't sure if you were going to talk about anything before.
We just did.
Okay, that was it.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So so just to recap, Atik isn't sharing today, but he's hoping to share next month once he's had a chance to polish up Extension Activity Monitor a little bit.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to load up the admin.
Okay. I guess this means while Andrew is loading up the admin, if anyone else has anything that they would like to share, this would be a great time to add it to the list. Trying to think if we have anything. Actually, Stuart, are you available for a quick demo of how quickly the extension workshop site loads now that it has been ported to 11D?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, cool.
did you want me to do that now whilst first? Or
Yeah, Andrew, how are you doing on time? Do you want Stuart to go first while you're loading up the admin?
I've just finished logging in, so let's do it now then.
Okay, so Stuart, you're next.
Okay, let's
Oh, no
see.
problem.
I need to exit. Need to share the screen, don't I? Okay, people see the AMO admin. Okay, this is add-ons dev, by the way. So, okay, so let me think. Okay, I can't remember what exactly she went over last time, so I might just kind of start from all the things that I believe she's been working on, and go from there. So the first thing she's working on was to be able to allow editorial staff or anyone admin related to upload images for the hero shelves on the homepage. Because previously you had to submit a pull request, and someone on the team had to actually do that manually. But now you can do it real time. You want to add a new item to the shelf. You want to add a new recommended add-on. You can just add the add-on and upload the image, and that's it. So the first thing you do for that is you would go into primary hero images, and these are the ones that have been uploaded. Some of these will be QA images. So yeah, I'm not going to upload an image because I'm not sure I've got a suitable one to hand. I'm kind of worried about opening up a random folder and seeing what's in there. So yeah, you just upload it by doing add, and then you kind of select one, browse it, and actually let's live dangerously. Let's see what I've got here. Oh look, there's a good one. Okay, so I've selected an image. It was on my computer. Thankfully, there was nothing horrendous in that folder that it defaulted to. And if we just do save, I'm hoping this actually works because this is all unprepared. Okay, it actually looks like I actually already tried by mistake. Okay, so if you can see, you probably can't tell who it is. Maybe you can recognize who it is in the photograph. Some of you can. So I've uploaded that photo, and then you go back to discovery, and you find the primary hero shelves are now in promoted add-ons. I actually I moved it around this part, but it still works. So you find a promoted add-on, and you want to add it to sorry, random scrolling there. So you want to add it as a primary hero. So this is a hero, and then you can then select the image from here. So it should be somewhere in here in what's known as select images. This is the thing that Lisa added, the second part. So all of these are things that have been uploaded rather than anything that's statically defined. So we'll just select that one there, and then should then be able to save it. Oh, okay. Okay, there it is now. Okay, what's the other? Only recommended add-ons can be enabled for external. Okay, so that's something different. That's nothing to do with what Lisa's done. That's my work. That's done this. So yeah, you'll be able to select it. You have to believe me that works. You select it, and then that would then be available on the front end. The only part that we weren't able to get done in time, and this project was to switch over to kind of get rid of all the old stuff. Because it needed some kind of resizing work going on, and Scott was unfortunately away for the 2 weeks just before Lisa finished, so we weren't able to kind of liaise with him and discuss with him what was needed in time. So anyway, we spoke to him now yesterday on the last day, and he's going to hopefully do that, and then we'll be ready to kind of launch it properly on the next push in September. So the second thing she was working on, which was supposed to be the primary project, was the ability to reorder and actually create new shelves on the homepage. Because at the moment, it's all statically defined. There's the hero stuff, but that's set up, but you can't actually add anything new. You can't add any new shelves. It's always only the primary stuff, the secondary shelves, and then there's like recommended add-ons and various things, but what's there is defined in front-end code. So to make a change, Scott has to write an issue, then someone has to pick it up and do the coding, etc. So she was writing the ability to basically add shelves and to be able to reorder them. So these are defining the homepage shelves. So these are the shelves here. These are QA stuff that's been added. So you would add a shelf. Oh, sorry, there's an intermediate step that I forgot about. You actually add the shelf first. You create a shelf, and that thing I went to there was to set the order and do the enabling. So these are called shelf modules. So you'd add a shelf module, title Migrate Shelf. Most of them are search endpoints, and this is going to show recommended stuff, and you can also do footer text as well. So see more great stuff, and have a link to something as well. Doesn't really matter what you link to, but say it's extensions maybe. I don't know. So we'll save that. Okay, and then you go back to discovery, and then you actually define. You want to actually add it to the home page, the module, because there's quite a few different modules, and you might want them all. You can see there's kind of a list of them here, and we'll choose Migrate Shelf. We want to enable it, and we want to make it position number, I think it matters 9. Why not? So here it is on the thing, and you can also change the order to move it up and down the list, and turn them off as well. You disable them, and then the next part of the project was to create the API which exposed this information and actually included all the add-ons in it as well, or so it was a single bundle. And she's working on that. And the pull request was kind of half done, and I'm not sure she was able to kind of get over that line before they asked in the last few hours yesterday, because it was kind of outside anything she had experience with. And I had an idea how it would work. And I was kind of saying, you should maybe try this. But of course, it's difficult to pick it up if you have no experience in it. So yeah, she was working on that. I'm not sure she finished it, if I can finish it otherwise. And then the last part, which she wasn't able to get to in time, was to actually the front end to consume this new information, which I believe is actually relatively trivial. Once you've actually kind of done all the back end work. So yeah, that was it.
This is so cool.
Yeah, I wish she was able to make it so we could go over those things she's done, because one thing at a time you don't feel like you've done much, but when you had it all together, it's kind of quite a lot of work. And especially given the fact that when she started doing this, her only experience with Python and Django was like a course she took a couple of years ago. She had no actual experience with anything to do with Django at all. And we're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of it's involved in Django, and you're going to learn all this new stack from the beginning. So yeah, she did really well with the task that we left for her. Okay, so I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, thanks so much, Andrew. This is really great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that we have this feature, and it's just awesome that Lisa came in and picked up a lot of new stuff and got a lot of this done in the very brief time that we had her.
Yeah, like in hindsight, we'd have probably, kind of maybe skipped over the uploaded image part because it was a nice little feature, but it wasn't core to the main thing. And we kind of thought it would both fit, and it was easy to start on the small project first. But in reality, we kind of underestimated how long it would take to kind of get the up ramp to be able to go from knowing nothing about how any of it works and to kind of creating stuff. So
Yeah.
bear in mind.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments for Andrew about Lisa's work on the AMO admin? Very cool. All right, let's turn it over to Stuart for our rocket ship to development changes or local changes, sorry.
All right. So I'm just going to share my screen. So before I show this a bit of background, so the extension workshop was built using a Ruby-based static site generator called Jekyll, which is pretty familiar. Used a lot over on GitHub. But one of the problems that we were having was as more content was added, the build time were increased significantly until we got to a point where on CI it was taking 13 minutes, and we actually had to, because we'd gone over the 10-minute default limit for no output, that limit had to be bumped up because otherwise Circle would just kill the job when it was building. And alongside that, there are also some other issues around caching. So when you wanted to make a change, like just simply change an image in a document, the caching for, I think it was related to the asset plugin, was fairly broken. So often you would have to completely trash everything, build from scratch, and then be waiting 10 minutes locally to see the change, which is just insane. So a new static generator came on the scene. I'm not sure, it's probably a couple of years old maybe now, called 11t, which is JavaScript based, and it's been built in a way that's fairly compatible with Jekyll in the way that you'd structure pages and lay things out. So it made it possible to essentially do a migration from Jekyll to 11t. And so that was something that was started probably just coming up to a couple of months ago. And recently we put this live in production. But the main benefit of 11t is just it has amazing performance. So you should be able to see my terminal here. So assuming you've checked the branch out, you would just run yarn install to get the dependencies, which I've already done, so it was quick for me. Then if you run yarn start, this builds without any caching whatsoever from scratch. And so within around 3-4 seconds, the whole thing's built. And so if I hide my terminal, so this is the page running locally. Hopefully you can see that if Zoom's called up. So if I just go and find a page to look at, let's go into publish and find something. Something with code. There we go. So say I want to fix a bug. I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure I like the background color of the code update URL here. So that's there. So if I pop back to my terminal, I'm just gonna make a quick modification, change that to a lighter gray, make it impossible to read. And this is using browser sync locally. So that's built into 11t. And the statics are built in a way that when the CSS is rebuilt, it sends a ping to browser sync and says, hey, styles have changed, can you update? And then that'll be reflected immediately in the page or close to, as long as it takes to build and then show it. And that's pretty much it. And then for a production build, there's some other stuff that needs to happen, which is mainly to bust caches. So all static assets are written out with hashes in the file name. And so there's a command for that, which is build production. And what this does is it first does all the build from 11t, which is what that was flying past there. And then this is the script running now. And this part takes a little bit longer, which is partly why this is completely disconnected from the development process, even though you can see overall that took under 15 seconds. And then that's now ready to just throw on any static server and serve. And that's it.
Not hearing any questions, so I'll just ask an easy one. Stuart, how often do you feel like throwing a knife at this new 11D versus how often you felt that way with Jekyll?
Yeah, it's just a world apart. Like when we were getting ready for production, there were a few nits, few bugs that came in, and it was easily possible to work through a bunch of bugs in a day because you can just iterate so much quicker. So yeah, it's definitely made that easier. And the bigger thing here is that I hope this is going to open it up to more contributors as well. And also writing documentation should be easier because you can write a doc, see the feedback much more quickly. And yeah, I think this is just really the beginning because there's some other possibilities here in terms of cleaning this up further. So hopefully there'll be some more news on this front in due course as we make some further changes and make things better for content authors as well.
Sweet. Any other questions or comments for Stuart?
Why was it that Jekyll was so bad?
So the question was why you're sounding a bit distant there, but the question was why is Jekyll so bad? Or why was it so bad?
My microphone was up.
That's all right. Yeah, that's a good question. So I did spend a bunch of time looking at profiling Jekyll to try and see, because, ideally, if there was a way to just make a simple change to Jekyll, then if that would have worked and made things better, that would have been a lot simpler than porting. Most of the time spent seemed to be spent in the Liquid templating, and having done the migration, I did find one weird error where the JS version of Liquid found something like an unclosed tag. I haven't ever gone back to see, was that a reason why there was something, was it putting a lot of stuff into memory and that was slowing everything down? But I doubt it. It just seemed to be particularly slow with the amount of stuff that it was doing. And this is, if you look on the web, you'll see like this is a fairly common complaint. We were also doing image optimization. There was a plugin for that, and that was doing all of that at build time. So that can't have helped either. But even the most recent version of Jekyll, which was claimed to have big performance boosts in terms of improved caching and things like that, that actually made it worse, which was interesting because I was expecting, oh, this might be the thing if we upgrade and be fine. So a quick test to try that. But yeah, it didn't actually help. So, and I doubt we would have ever seen the kind of, significant improvement that 11T's brought. So it would have been hard to match what's around sort of 200 times faster.
Okay, I'll put out a last call for any final things that people would like to share. Okay, well then I think that'll wrap up our monthly show and tell. Thanks everybody for joining. Keep working on some awesome stuff, and we'll see you all next month. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.